Hello, hello, everyone. Okay, I am so excited. I think, did I do it now or did I not do it? Does it say live on Instagram? Hang on, hold on, please. Hold, please. I got to make sure. I am checking. I think I did it. Yes, I am learning as we go. Did I do it? No, wait a minute. There we go. Now we should have it. Yes, now we are live on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, all over the place. I am so excited because this is, I cannot talk forever tonight, but I want to talk about AI because AI is here, right? We all know this, and I don't think I've ever really talked to you guys about this, and it's really, really important that I do, and what it has to do with the Walk It Free Heal, Connect, and Level Up system, right? Why is this so important? And that is what I want to talk about. So when we create an online business, we are often doing this in the nooks and crannies of our days, right? We do this as a side hustle. I cannot even tell you how many people I talk to every single day that are saying to me, oh, I'm not having enough time, or I'm not having enough resources, or I can't do this because, right? And there's just so much work that has to be done in a cold market. Okay, I'm going to talk about network marketing for a minute because that's a really good example for many of you, right? And a lot of my customers are actually in network marketing also. So I'm just going to talk about network marketing for a minute. When you, and I mean, it's the same for insurances or for real estate or whatever, but I'm going to talk about network marketing for a minute. So when you follow the traditional network marketing system, what you're going to do is you are likely asked to go to your friends and family, the people in your warm market, and you're supposed to ask them to buy the products and so on and so forth. Some people are training you, then the friends of the friends. So then you are going out there, then you're asking them, and then you're going to ask a friend of the friend, and so that's how you're going to build your business. However, a lot of us don't feel good about this. A lot of us don't want to do it this way. So we need to find a new way. And in order, or maybe you are already through your friends and family and you have asked everybody. That's what happened to me. Like, I've asked everybody and I recruited everybody really quickly. In the very beginning, 8 years ago, I recruited everybody really quickly, and then out of the sudden I ran out of people, and then I didn't have anybody anymore that I had rapport with, and then I had to learn actual sales skills, which was quite hard because, as you might know, with sales skills, what you need to have is you need to have an audience, right? You have to have clarity, you need to have confidence to show up, have a mission, you have to have a brand of some sort, you have to have something that creates a stranger to build know, like, and trust factor with you, and say, hey, you know what, I think I like her, and I'm gonna buy from her. So in order to do that, you need to have an audience, people that want to buy from you. You need to have some kind of a brand. So what is a brand? A brand is all the things that you are, your solid foundation of posting, what are you interested in, what do you do on a daily basis, what your skills are, what, depending on what it is that you're selling. If you are in a wellness company, for example, what is your brand? Are you trying to be a fitness instructor, or are you trying to invite people to come with you on a journey of some sort? If you are an insurance agent, for example, or real estate agent, what is your target group that you want to appeal to? See, if you are trying to be, reaching all these business owners, but you are at home, they're not going to listen to you, right? I mean, I have that in the logistics industry right now in sales over there. Like, if my company doesn't fit the profile of the companies that they are wanting to do business with, you are not going to make the sale because you're just not a good fit. Okay. And that is nothing against you personally. That is just sales. This is just people. So I promise I will come to the AI function. But so in order to have this brand that we are talking about, what we need to do is we need to be able to to post something about it. We need to develop it. We need to have clarity, and we need to then come up with content ideas in order to make that all happen, right? We have to do that consistently. And here's the struggles, because we often to do this consistently. Yeah, we also have children that we are needing to drive places. We have things that we need to take care of. We have our job, we have our boss, we have our house, we have the husband, we have all these different things that are also buying our attention, right? Now, out of the sudden, here comes the gift of AI, right? The gift of AI. I tell you, I cannot tell you just how long I've been praying for words. You know, if you hear me, I am actually a born German citizen, and I am now an American citizen, but I was born in Germany, so my first language is German. And I moved here in 2000, but my language is not the same as an American. So you can imagine, as I was trying to create content, as I was trying to keep up with the very fast demand of a lot of content that you're supposed to do in order to reach this big audience that you're supposed to have, right? This is also subjective. Not everyone needs a ton of followers. Not everyone, and it doesn't matter how many followers you have, does not say anything about the success you're having, because if you don't have a good audience, you can have millions of followers, but they're still not going to buy from you. So it all depends who you are targeting, who you are. And when I say target, I'm saying you can't sell to everybody, right? Because your product is not for everyone. You need to target the person that is best suited for what you have. So like I said, with the logistics company that I work with, if I try to sell freight that I cannot handle to this customer, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to have a really bad job. I'm going to make a bad job. They're not going to be happy. And that is the same with you. So if you do, you have to niche it down. You have to target somewhere what you want to do and what you're good at. And then you got to create content. Now, here comes AI. I was praying for words. I was praying for words because I had such a hard time sometimes looking things up or gaining clarity in my marketing, right? When you need to market and you have, maybe you are not a marketing expert. Maybe you are not a citizen that you can speak that language so eloquently that you are going to be able to come up and hit the SEO keywords that you need to hit for the algorithms to catch, right? There's a bunch of different things that are needed, that you are needing to put into consideration, where AI is going to help you with. Okay. Now, some of you may have worked with AI already, and some of you have not worked with AI already. And here's what I want to tell you. In order to work with AI, whether or not it's ChatGPT or video something or video AI, or there's a gazillion different ones, right? But whatever you're working with, in order to do that, you've got to ask really good questions. You've got to feed that AI machine your brand, your personality. Well, and that is where many of you are struggling. You do not have a brand. You do not have a message. You do not have clarity. You do not know who you want to talk to, why you want to talk to them, why you should be talking to them, why you need to talk to them. You have zero clue. All you know is that you want to make $500 to $1,000 a month. That would be nice, right? And all you know is you have a product that you love because you're probably taking it yourself and you want to get it paid for or whatever. Now, this is where Walk It Free comes in, the mentorship, right? Do you see it down here? The Black Friday special is happening, but that's just for when you want to dive deep into the one-on-one. Okay, those things are on special. I have it on special for every day, for every month, for $27. Now, I tell you, I made it $27 not because I don't know what I'm talking about, not because I am not confident in how I coach and what I coach. I made it $27 so you could afford it, because so many of you are saying, oh, I don't have the money. I don't have the money. And I'm going to dare to tell you that if you do not have $27 to level up your skills, to make and go faster in what you want to do, you don't have $27, that's why you need to find the $27 and actually make it happen, because that is so cheap that if you do not afford $27 a month, you must have a side hustle. And I'm just going to be the German hammer, basically, is going to come out here. I'm going to have to tell you, if you cannot afford $27, you need to get your butt in gear and you need to do something, because one day you're not going to be able to work. You're not going to be able to have resources, and entrepreneurship is what's going to be able to pay you, but not if you don't do something about it. Okay. And that's what it is. My biggest fear, what's driving me mostly, is the fear of being old and not capable of working no more and not able to pay for my lifestyle. That would be the worst fear that I have at the moment. I mean, besides of dying, of course, dying would be awful, but or my children die, that would be even worse. However, I don't want to catastrophize it now. The worst thing for me would be not have money and not being able to eat or not being able to do anything when I am older, right? And therefore, this is what I'm saying. I'm telling you, you have to do something. If you do not have money now where you are capable of working, you need to get going. You need to get going. The beauty about building an online business is that it doesn't matter. You can do it at night when your kids are sleeping. You can do it in the afternoon. You can have so much focus, and with AI and the ability to utilize it now, I mean, it gave me so many hours back in content creation, right? It helped me with my clarity. It helped with marketing. It helped with, and it still helps, and it's continuing to help. It's just, I mean, it's a gift. It's such a gift if you are using it right. Many of you don't know how to use it because you are not working with it. And this is, like I said, this is where Walk It Free comes in, the mentorship, right? Having a solid foundation, having somebody that can answer your question, having somebody that can put these puzzle pieces together for you, because that is where the problem is. You are in this and you have an upline that is telling you, oh, beautiful things, do this, just send this message, copy, paste. Well, that message, copy, paste does not work for your circle. Maybe it works maybe for their circle, right? But if it does not do anything for you, if it does, yay, good for you. But if there's many of you that it doesn't work for you, and it doesn't work for you because you are not them. You need to find you. You need to find your process. You need to find your foundation. And that is where we are all so different from each other. And nobody teaches that, my friends. Nobody teaches how to develop your own system, except for me. How to develop your own system, how to make it fit your schedule, your timeline, how to fit your personality, how to attract the people that you want to work with, and how to have the confidence. See, that was a clarity piece. How to have the confidence to show up as you. See, I had to laugh with this full-time sales stuff. I had my very first mean message on LinkedIn. Usually business professionals, I would say, are really kind, right? I mean, they should be, right? A lot of us are in sales and we should be kind of kind to people. However, the guy was not nice. He was not nice. And I was laughing because I thought to myself, like, man, that's just a reflection on you. That has nothing to do with me. I sent you a very nice message, but it's just a reflection on you. And see, that confidence, when you have rejection, that confidence only comes when you know where you are coming from. And see, so many of you have sales issues, right? You don't want to sell something because you feel yucky and slimy and all the things. But remember, sales is something that is super, super, super old. It has been done for all times. Like, it's one of the, aside from prostitution, probably it's one of the oldest things. However, it's also, when you think about it, it's also something that is giving you freedom if you can do it right. And you know what? If you have fun with it as you are progressing, as you are learning, if you are okay with just stumbling in the messy middle and just try things, and it's just so much easier to try things in the messy middle when you have somebody who's been there, somebody who can guide you through and say, yes, that's right. Yes, keep coming. Yes, you're doing good. Because I did not have that. And this is why I built the mentorship for only $27, so you can afford it. I have no excuses. I built that $27 mentorship now because and ask all my clients in there, I am completely overserving, which I have to almost go because we're having session tonight. But I am completely overserving in there. And the reason for that is because I'm so passionate about it. I want the people to win. I want them to build a legacy. I want them to build themselves, their life, their business, their families, their relationships, because that is what Walk It Free means to me, right? Walking it free means rebuilding your life. Walking it free means get off that depression and anxiety and start getting responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for your life. See, I made bad choices. Like I married the wrong people and I wasn't sure about red flags and green flags. And I didn't know a lot of the things. I was a people pleaser. I mean, my life I thought was good, but I was a workaholic. I was burnt out for a while, right? And then I was a housewife, and then out of the sudden, I started realizing, like, dang it, I don't have any skills anymore, like, or so it felt. And I thought to myself, like, what's going to happen once I realized that my relationship wasn't going where I wanted it to go? I needed to really quickly figure out how to get back into life, how to get back into adult life. And I tell you, it took me some time to come back. But building a business, learning sales, learning how to market, learning how to utilize all these things not only made my re-entry into a full-time position that pays like the insurances and all that stuff easier, but it also accelerated everything else in my life, right? So confidence comes from doing the messy middle. Confidence comes from using the resources. I tell my kids this all the time. You do not have to use everything and know everything, but you have to use resources. You have to be able to ask the questions. You have to be able to ask the right questions. Now, how do you ask AI the right questions? Well, if nobody tells you about the brand and the ideal audience and the fact that you need to build a funnel of some sort, do not even listen to these ads where people say you don't have to make a list. You do have to make a list. Why? Not because you need to go through them all. No, that you don't have to do, okay? But you need to have a list so you can keep track of the conversations you have, because that is another thing. You know, I was not organized for so long. I had a hottie mess and I lost so many leads. I did not finish conversations, and I'm sorry probably if that is you and I've forgotten about you. Please forgive me, right? I mean, that is a learning process. You learn through this. You have to take notes. You have to be able to keep track. And, you know, yes, you can do your business in the nooks and crannies of your day, but you have to still make sure you have a system. See, without a system, you have nothing. Without conversations, you have nothing. And how do you all do this? How do you keep this in track? You know, and I teach you how to do it with your time, with your system, with your leads, with your desires, with your things that you have going on. That is where it's at. AI helps you a ton. It helps and speeds up the content creation. It helps and speeds up your systems. It helps and speeds up your analysis, okay? Your market analysis, like what to post about, for example, how to make messenger events, how to answer questions, how to overcome objections in sales. There are so many different things that you can use AI for, but you can't do it if you don't have the overall vision of what needs to happen and how you need to make it happen. Okay, if you don't have the big vision, what it will take. And I tell you, when I first started in network marketing, I remember I was going around asking everybody, what should I do? How can I recruit? Should I do recruiting? Like what's a recruiting system? Nobody could tell me at that time. Okay. I asked about duplication. How should I duplicate? Nobody could tell me at that time. And then I went out and I learned from industry leaders, because I didn't want to just learn from one company. I wanted to know how to sell to people that needed what I had, because I didn't want to spam friends and family, because I couldn't. My friends and family were in Germany at that time, and everybody I had in the United States, I already had onboarded, so to speak. But I digress. Anyway, so if that is you, if you are in the market, network marketing, if you're a content creator, if you're a realtor, for example, or somebody in insurance, right? This AI will save your life. But you have to have clarity. You have to have clarity about what is it that you're exactly creating? What is it that you want to do? You need to have clarity around how and who you are and how you want to show up and what kind of client you want to work with. And you've got to have clarity around this yourself, your authenticity. You can't be an introvert and then try to build an extroverted team. These people are going to exhaust you, I promise. Unless you are like me, who is an introvert, but I can also be extroverted, then I can do it for a short amount of time. But I'll tell you, my extroverted friends, they know at some point I'm done. At some point I need a little break, right? They know that. And I don't think I could ever, like, I don't think conventions are fun, to be honest with you. To me, they're exhausting. You have to know who you are and what you want to build. And I've always thought it was easier to just build online, easier to set. And clearly also I had little kids. I could not have in-home events all the time and do all that stuff. So I figured out a way that worked for me. I figured out a way that paid me what I needed to get paid. And that also, though, and this is the thing, sometimes you think, oh, why am I doing all this work and I'm not getting paid, right? Because we still have the job mindset. We are having the job, like, I'm putting so many hours in and I should get paid this and this many hours back. But you're an entrepreneur. And when you think about it, you also get paid in non-scale victories, so to speak, right? It's not just the victory of having a paycheck, but it's also how are your relationships, how are your communications, how is your self-care, how are you able to handle stress, how are you able to adjust in your full-time performance, right? For example, like I said, I mean, I was 11 years out of the industry that I'm working in now. And then I had to go back so that I can get insurance and beef up my 401k because, not needless to say, I'm sure you all are in the same position, or many of you, retirement savings wasn't really happening when I was a housewife, when I was a stay-at-home mom. That was something that I could have done financially, but I just happened to be a people pleaser that never took care of myself. So I didn't do it. I did not do it. And so now I'm sitting here in separation again, thinking to myself, wait a minute, I need to beef this up. And that is probably you too. And you are probably going to say, maybe you are like just wanting to put food on the table, or you want to pay the Christmas bills, right? Something. You don't want a credit card payment in January. Something. I tell you, AI is going to be your friend, but only if you have a way to utilize it, ask it the right questions. I'm going to train my group tonight on that. Actually, I'm going to talk to them about teaching them and showing them and yada, yada, yada. In that mentorship group, they are able to ask me questions during the week. They are getting a questionnaire every week where they can communicate with me in private, because in a group, sometimes you don't want to speak up, right? You don't want to say everything all the time, because sometimes it's embarrassing, especially if you are like a bigger leader, you have a team. You don't want to go in front of your team and say, well, I don't know how recruiting really works, you know? So, so yes, I have an option in there that you can talk to me privately, and then I train on whatever topics are mostly requested, and therefore everybody can be getting their privacy or keeping their privacy. Okay, and here's what I want to show you real quick. I don't know if you can see that, but here we go. I have like a little note on my desk. This is the other non-scale victories, right? Where you have a little I love you note from your daughter on your desk, just randomly because she can, right? So having said that, I hope that you are going to join me in that mentorship community. It's, like I said, only $27. Hit me up. I will put you in there. If you are signing up tonight, I will put the link underneath here. If you are signing up tonight and you're hopping in there, you are going to be able to get 2 hours of training and the replay. Okay. So having said that, we'll see you all tomorrow.